Hello everyone. Today we will explain a romantic film, My Sassy Girl. Spoiler alert, sit tight and enjoy the movie recap. Now let's start our daily recap dose. Movie starts with the story of a male college student, Gin Charm, and the young lady who is never named in the film. Gin Charm just really can't get a heartfelt break. Even his mother tries to assist him, encouraging him to visit his aunt for two reasons. His prospects are so pitiful. First, Gin-woo brings to mind his aunt's recently deceased son. Second, because his aunt wants to introduce him to a girl. Gin-woo continually postpones visiting his aunt. The film opens with Gin-woo sitting on top of a mountain and reminiscing hopefully about a girl he knew 2 years ago who had buried a time capsule with him there. After that, she never showed up when she said she would. Gin-woo can be seen taking his passport picture in a photo studio. His aunt calls him so that she can finally show him the girl she's been trying to hook up with. The film then rewinds to the past. At evening meal, Gin Charm is interfered with by a call from his mom, advising him to visit his auntie and meet an expected date. He denies and keeps on eating with his companions. He sees a drunk girl standing dangerously close to the edge of the train platform at the train station on his way to his aunt's. Just in time, he pulls her to safety. Gin-woo can't help but stare at the girl as she moves around in the train. Despite being repulsed by her drunkenness, he is slightly drawn to her. At last, she hurls on a traveler and swoons, however not before she calls Gin Charm honey. Gin-woo is verbally and physically abused by the passenger, who tells him to look after his girlfriend. Gin-woo carries her all the way to the nearest hotel in complete panic, just as he realizes that there are no towels in the shower. Her cell phone rings while he is taking a shower. He runs out, without clothes, to answer the phone and tells the caller where they are. A pair of female police officers storm into the bathroom and take Gin-woo into custody. He returns home after being released from jail, where he was victimized by gangsters. His mom beats him with a vacuum cleaner for not turning up at his auntie's, and there is a short flashback of his lifetime downfalls as a college student. The girl calls him and asks him to meet her and explain why he was naked in her bed. The girl's dominant and insistent tone during the phone call demonstrates her typical ill-tempered woman posture, which she maintains throughout the movie. She tells him what to order, criticizes his choices, and then tells him what to order both at the takeout joint and the bar where she drags him. She weeps, confesses to breaking up with her boyfriend the day before, and gets so drunk over soju that finally results into returning to the same hotel. She begins to become a more active part of his life following this second overnight stay at the hotel. She tells the teacher that Gin-woo is the father of her soon-to-be aborted child when she visits Gin-woo at school and pulls him out of class. The young lady's emotions change fiercely from cheerful to out of brutal, yet Gin Charm tolerates it and lets her maltreatment him for her entertainment. She gives Gin-woo 3 different genre-specific screenplays throughout the film because she wants to write one day. The first is The Demolition Terminator, an action movie in which the female-led Gin-woo switches genders to save her helpless lover. The second is a wild adaptation of the Korean short story Sanagi, in which a dying girl requests that her lover be buried alongside her, even though he is still alive. This situation that results is quite funny. The final one is a parody of wuxia and samurai movies that uses genre tropes and phrases. The same underlying theme is present in all 3. The girl is futuristic. Gin-woo is determined to assist the girl in overcoming her suffering, despite the terrible things he endures. He surprises her for her birthday in one scene by taking her on a nighttime trip to an amusement park, but things don't go as planned. The two come face to face with a missing soldier who holds them hostage and rants about his misery. Gin-woo persuades the soldier to release her, and she convinces the soldier to release Gin-woo and continue his life. She dishes out a lot of pain throughout the first half of the movie with determination. However, as the second half progresses, she begins to alter. She exhibits weakness. The girl waits for Gin-woo after class in the more dramatic second half of the movie. She suddenly complains about the pain caused by her high heels as they are walking through the university campus. She convinces Gin-woo to switch shoes with her. She tells him to chase her, which he does while wearing her high heels, and she is overjoyed. They return to her residence when it starts to rain. Gin-woo overhears the girl and her mother having a heated argument about her relationship with him at her house. His life without her begins after he doesn't hear from her for a while. However, she calls him one day and requests that he bring her a rose during class to mark their 100th day together. He does this, prompting the contacting and heartfelt scene where he shows up in camouflage and is going to leave the press hall yet is directed to the front by the lovely song of George Winston's minor departure from Packable's group. Indeed, the young lady is in front of an audience playing a piano before a crowd of people of her all-female schoolmates who extol an endorsement at his heartfelt motion, a comparable signal. The watcher is subsequently educated, was performed by her past sweetheart. As the night further unfurls, he is met up at her home by her parents. Given that she is drunk once more, her father naturally demands a breakup. Time elapses and one day the young lady calls Gian Charm to meet he for dinner. He is surprised to find her out on a date when he arrives. Gian Wu is referred to by the girl as her friend to him. Gian Wu and her date are left alone when the girl briefly leaves the table during dinner. Gian Charm sincerely offers exhortation on the most proficient method to guarantee her satisfaction by adhering to 10 guidelines. He made his rules out of a lot of pain, dedication, and love for the girl. When she gets back, her date starts going over the rules. She realizes how well Gian Wu understands and cares for her at this point. She leaves her date abruptly and looks for Gian Wu. When they get back together, they realize that their relationship is about to change. They travel to a mountain in the wide open where she discloses a time capsule. The couple wrote their true feelings in letters the night before, which the girl says will be buried next to a particular mountain tree. After 2 years, they agree to meet again at the tree to read the letters together. They separate as soon as the time capsule is buried. During the long-term range, Gian Charm strives to work on himself in numerous ways. In any event, composing My Sassy Girl, which somebody has purchased the film rights to, an occasion he enthusiastically expects to fill the young lady. At the point when they settled upon date shows up, he goes to the mountain, however the young lady doesn't appear. He eventually cracks open the time capsule, reads her letter, and discovers the underlying cause of her behavior, that he reminds her of her ex-boyfriend who, rather than ending their relationship, actually died before she met Gian Wu. She had been seeing her dead boyfriend's mother, who wants to introduce her to a nice young man. When the time the girl and Gian Wu were seeing each other, the girl finally shows up a year after Gian Wu visited the tree. An elderly man is seated under the tree. The old man reveals during their conversation that the tree is not the same one. A similar tree had been planted by a young man so that someone special would not be sad, and he had read the letters. The original tree had been struck and killed by lightning a year earlier. The girl claims that she had hoped that the couple would meet during those 2 years. The girl sees a UFO time machine departing as she begins to read the letter. She was led to believe that Gian Wu from the future was the old man because of this. After that, the girl tries to call Gian Wu several times, but she is told that the number has changed or no longer exists. After that, the movie cuts to Gian Wu walking into a subway station in the same suit he was wearing at the beginning. The flashback has come to an end, and the story continues as soon as Gian Wu leaves the photo studio. Gian Wu is carted outside the closing doors of the train. At first, he probably didn't know the girl was on the train, but after a few seconds of staring, he seems to know who he sees behind him. He continues to run as the train pulls away, but he must give up. After a year and a half, the girl has lunch with the mother of her deceased boyfriend and is surprised to hear a familiar voice apologize for his tardiness. The mother presents her nephew Gian Charm, who she has been attempting to acquaint with the young lady for a really long time. Gian Wu then tells the girl to go out with him in the hope that he will make her life easier. When she tells him that the girl can advise him on his upcoming trip to England, Gian Wu responds, "I don't have to go anymore." The girl says she thinks she met a man from the future Gian Wu's future self as the pair hold hands under the table. The final shot shows the anniversary scene, in which the couple enters a bar wearing school uniforms and show their identification. The end. Thanks for watching our daily recap dose. To help us grow, like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to never miss the upcoming recaps. And share your reviews on the movie and comment below.